Your perception of reality is different than mine. And your perception of reality is based upon how you decided to see things, not the way things really are. You made a decision on how things are. And then now you're living your life based upon that decision. It was a decision. So your reality is based upon your decisions. And those decisions have limited you in some areas of your life. They help you in some areas, but they're limiting you in other areas. And so when you hang around people who are making progress, doing well, and you're looking at them and you're going, wait a minute, how are they doing that? You could call them lucky, but that's not the truth. The truth is they live by a different way of thinking. You can only do what you currently think. You can only do what you currently think. And so if you can't do something, like you can't make a phone call, you can't just strike up a conversation with people about what you do, you can't add 3 new clients this week, you can't increase your income, it's because of what you think. You're the limitation. You are the limitation. And that's a good thing to know, that it's you and that it's your thinking. And you could get upset with yourself and be mad and then go take a nap right now and check out and just not do anything. Or you can go, that's interesting. What do I think about money? What do I think about time? What do I think about calling people? What do I think about adding clients? Even though your program isn't completely finished. What do you think about selling what you have to offer, even when you know the last 30% is still kind of coming together? Some of you have the thoughts like, it has to be completely perfect before I'm going to say anything. Okay, good luck on when that's going to happen. Some of you still think that you're not smart enough or you don't have anything to offer. But again, that's a thought. I'm going to tell you something. Smartest thing I did years ago is I decided that I'm a genius. So funny. I decided I'm a genius. I decided I'm smart. I decided. I decided. Because I thought, as long as I think I'm stupid, I'm going to be poor. And I'm like, do I want to be poor all my life? Is this really what I'm supposed to go through? Sure, it will humble me. Sure. But wait, no, I can have humility and still be able to pay my bills. And it's like, wait a minute. Once I learned that humility doesn't come from being broke, that humility comes from the willingness to learn. Humility comes from being teachable. Humility comes from wanting to serve others. Once I really realized what humility was, it's like, I don't need to be broke to have humility. It's like, no, I don't need to do that. So I'm like, you know what? Since I can think I'm dumb, and then when I think I'm dumb, I don't do anything and everything takes forever. What if I had decided to think that I was smart? What if I decided to think I was a genius? And I'm like, is this legal? Can I do this? Can I just change my thoughts about myself? So I did. But the game changed. The game changed. I would talk to people because it's like, I know stuff. And if I don't know it, I'm going to figure it out. I'm telling you what, it is crazy cool when you start to realize you are actually up against your own thoughts right now. You are up against your own thoughts. The very thing that is messing with you is here. And it's the way you think about self and what you're doing and how it's going to affect people. It's your own thoughts. That's the thing. But do you know what those limiting thoughts are? Do you know what they are? Well, if you don't know what they are, just attempt to do your action step today. Attempt to do your action step. It will stir up all your limitations because they will fly up and try to stop you. And then when they fly up in front of you, it's like, oh, that's what it is. And so the best way to fine tune yourself, the best out of anything I've ever found ever, the best way to fine tune yourself, to put yourself into the place of putting yourself on the table, ready to like disassemble, reassemble, is to choose a bold action step every day. You choose a bold action step and you go for it. Then your stuff comes up, your limiting beliefs, and then you can catch them, put them on paper, disassemble them while you're still doing the action step. Action. And now when you go to disassemble yourself, you're not mad to the point you're shaming yourself. You can be mad at yourself. There's nothing wrong with being mad at yourself. It's when you shame yourself and you just want to quit. But just figure just figure this, you have 100,000 limiting beliefs to solve. That's all. There's just 100,000 of them. So settle in on finding limiting beliefs and crossing that line and moving forward. And then find the next limiting belief and then cross that line and move forward. And just figure there's 100,000 of them. And just because if you get in your head, you only have 4, it's not true. If you only have 2, if anybody ever tells you you have less than 100,000, they have not gone the distance themselves. Because I think I'm at probably about 1,000, and I've only got 900. What's the number? 999,000 more to find. It's like, all right, it's just kind of like a life thing. It's just a life thing. It's not a seminar thing or a personal coaching thing. You want to learn how to disassemble a limiting belief. You want to learn how to disassemble and build yourself. Build and disassemble. Boy, those 2 things. But you're taking the action step every day, even if you're not quite sure exactly what you're doing. Because it forces you to learn, forces you to absorb education, forces you to ask questions, because you're doing something you're not quite sure what to do.